I'm just gonna throw this in the Patreon.
Throw it in that piece.
Whatever happened to our 100th episode extravaganza?
Oh yeah, where I wipe out half the universe.
Yeah.
Still working on the script. It's just, it's been busy with the work recently.
Holidays.
Yeah.
You could have saved a lot of time by not watching all the Rocky movies.
I mean, they're only an hour and a half
Wow.
each, so
Yeah. Wow. Judgmental.
Yep.
Patreon.
Just saying. That's like 4.5 hours. That,
We didn't watch them all at
anything
once.
else. No, but I'm saying over the last few weeks.
All right, I'm not gonna let you be mean.
How can you be mean to his face?
No, I'm gonna be mean to your face. The cat's fine.
There's no other face. She's so mad.
Yeah, she looks mad. She
Yeah.
every time you post pictures of her, she always looks mad.
She's got a resting bitch face. She's a calico. It happens, but
Yeah,
she's so
those.
sweet.
That's a thing. It's totally a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's turning up a storm.
Aw. Cat purrs are the best.
Mm-hmm.
She's just misunderstood.
Does she fight the other the boys?
They usually fight her and she turtles. Like she flips over.
Oh wow.
Like, no,
Oh, there she goes.
That's
Yep.
funny. All right.
because she doesn't have any front claws, so she protects herself with her back claws
Nice.
in turtle form.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Video Game News and News Show. Nope, that's the wrong show. Hello,
Yeah.
everyone. Welcome to the Try Shot Gamescast. These are week friends gather around top of the things they've been doing, the games they've been playing. Today I have Justin.
Hi,
And
that's it.
And Lo.
Hello, everyone. The perimeter is secure. No worries.
Thank Christ. And we also have Ben.
You deviants are nasty for liking Santa Baby. Stop it.
What?
Santa baby.
Fuck that song. That song. I don't look.
Something
I look.
for me.
I love anime titty, right? I'm lewd as fuck. But Santa Claus does not need to be lewd. I don't need to see that. Look, keep that shit to
Why?
your fucking deviants and
Why not?
Reddit.
There's also a song called "I Saw Mama Kissing Santa Claus."
That's
Where's
also
54,
wrong.
dude.
And that's
There's
adultery.
There's a lot of Santa D in the world. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, nobody
Rule
wants that
34.
hairy,
That's what it is, right?
probably
34.
white. However, Adam Sandler described that dude's old man's ball sack in that in not Mr. Deeds.
What?
I've already derailed it for Thomas.
Yeah. The point is, in both of those songs, Santa is the husband dressed up as Santa, and for some reason that's her fetish. So, don't kink shame.
I know I'm king shaming. That's wrong.
All right.
Some girls like that Santa bod.
Lo, did you want to share your story this week or no?
Hashtag Santa bod.
Sure, I'll share the story. I'll try to keep it brief. So, so the story begins. There I was. I was all ready. We were ready to go. There I was. I was ready to watch Into the Spider-Verse. We were literally about to leave the house. And so then we hear a knock at the door, right? So I answer the door. Well, before I answer the door, my fiance Tanya, she's like, oh, there looks like there's like some slisters or whatever on the doorbell camera, because we have one of those Ring doorbell cameras so we can see everything that goes on. So they had like a ADT label shirts and like little lanyards and things like that, and so they, from just first appearance, they look like legit like dealers or salespeople or door-to-door people, whatever. The first thing that was a little suspicious was that it was kind of late for them to be knocking at our door. It was like just before 7 o'clock. It was already dark and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, whatever. But like I said, we're about to leave anyways, so we got to talking, and then they were like, oh, well, there's been a lot of robberies in the area, or like increased activity, so we're going around door to door offering free security systems, whatever, blah blah blah.
I wonder who's doing the robbing.
Immediate red flag goes off in my head. I'm like, this sounds way too good to be true, because usually if something's too good to be true, it isn't, right? So
Oh, free security.
yeah, right. I'm just, and the other thing is they were just, they were sales dudes, so like they were just kind of pushy just from that regard, but they were also just kept like, oh yeah, well, we can just come in real quick, this, that, whatever, like, hook up all your systems and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, like, no, I don't want you to. First of all, we're about to leave, and then, so then I asked them for some sort of like business card or pamphlet or something like that, whatever. And they kind of kept like dodging it. They weren't really like directly addressing it really. So then they leave, and then just after we leave, so we pull out of our driveway, and then we see them before this get into like it's like a black van or an SUV or something like that. Super suspect, because usually I would imagine anyways that somebody representing ADT or a company like that would be riding around in a van that was marked as such, so as to avoid suspicion. So that immediately raised more suspicion right off the bat. And then through our doorbell camera later on, as the evening progressed, we just kept seeing them just drive by the house. It's like they were like, I don't know if they were like driving through like the neighborhood or whatever, or whatever. It just seemed really, really, really suspicious. So you
never actually left, right? You like went out to your car and then decided to go back in.
Okay, I missed part of the story. So we actually got in the car. So we saw them in their van. So we actually followed them for a little bit, like from a good distance, right? So then eventually we saw them pull over just outside of the neighborhood, and they just kind of parked and turned off the lights, and they were just kind of chilling. So then then this is another thing, just kind of like just added another layer to the sandwich of suspicion for me. So it's just
sandwich of suspicion.
Yeah,
it's a good name for the novelization of this story.
The sandwich of suspicion.
Yeah.
But yeah. So then after that, and after that we went back home, and then that's when we saw them driving by the house repeatedly. And then at that point, I'm just like, you know what? Screw this. Because if anything, they think we're not home anymore. So, because they never saw us, they didn't see what car we got in, they didn't see what kind of car we were driving. So as far as we know, they don't think we're home. So then I went upstairs, I got my gun, I loaded it, and I was like, okay. I turned to Tanya, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to scare you or anything, but if anybody comes in, I'm going to shoot them in the face. Like, maybe I'll yell at them first, but she's like, well, give them a warning shot first. I'm like, yeah, I'll give them a warning shot in the face. Right?
That's a good warning shot. It warns the other ones, so not to fuck with you.
Right. So then
I'll warn one of them.
So it was just, and then the night just progressed on, and then just became me camped out in the stairwell for like a good couple of hours, at least 2 hours, and then. So at some point in time, I was like, if anything, like the movie's like long over by now. So like, if anything, they probably don't expect us to, not be home anymore. So then we just kind of like, just then went around, made sure everything was locked down and all that kind of stuff. And then, then we tried to go to bed after that. But yeah, it was just kind of, at that point, we were just both really high strung, and just kind of every little noise is like, oh, what was that? Oh, what was that? What was that noise? It's just, even though it's just like regular like house noises, stuff like that, it's just like, oh, maybe it was somebody's in the house. But it's just, yeah. So it was a very stressful evening. It was a very stressful evening, and I was pissed because I was so ready to go watch this movie. So instead, I was like in fear for my safety and the safety of my household for an entire evening. So yeah, for that reason, I didn't end up seeing Into the Spider-Verse. Hopefully I'll see it in the next couple of days. But yeah, so I mean, other than that, I've been doing a little bit of gaming here and there, just with the winter sale and all that stuff. I picked up a couple of things. Sunset Overdrive, super fun game. The traversal is amazing. Yeah. It's great. If you haven't played it before, or even if you just go get it, just go get it and go play it. Fun game. Let's see, what else have I been playing? I've been playing just a little bit of Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Let's see, what else did I pick up? There was there was this one really cool game. It's called Override Mech City Battle. So what it is, it's basically like a giant robot simulator, and it has like a cool little story mode, and you run around fighting a bunch of like kaiju and stuff like that. It's a really fun little like it's like really kind of arcadey, sort of like arena-based combat. But
does it look like Godzilla Destroy All Monsters to the GameCube? Kind of has that same feeling.
I actually never played much of that game, so I'm not too sure. But you kind of have like a targeting function, and then with the controls are actually interesting. You'll understand this reference, Ben. But it's kind of like Tekken. It's like each button is mapped to each limb, so it's like you have a left punch, a right punch, a left kick, and a right kick. So you have that, but then you also you also have the ability to like, boost around. So if you like boost towards an enemy, then do a kick, you'll do like a kind of like flying sort of like super kick him right in the face. And then if you also, in the same regard, if you boost and do a punch, you do kind of like a Superman punch. It's pretty rad. So it's pretty cool. You can knock over buildings and shit like that. And it's a really fun game. It's a real fun game. It's on sale right now. It's a few bucks off. Let's see. Other than that, there was one other game I picked up. It was called Hypercharge Unboxed. And then it was at that point that I realized that a lot of the games I picked up have the same kind of like similar kind of naming scheme. So I have Sunset Overdrive, I have Override Mech City Battle, and then I have Hypercharge. I'm like, I don't know, whatever. So basically Hypercharge, it's an early access game, but it's kind of one I had my eye on just because of the kind of theme that it has. It's a co-op wave-based sort of tower defense. But the theme of it is like your toys, like in a toy aisle and stuff like that. So you're defending like this kind of MacGuffin thing. I don't even know what the hell it is. I don't really care. But you're defending this thing against like waves of enemies, and you can set down little turrets and towers and stuff. It's really interesting. It's a pretty fun game. It's a little performance is a little kind of wonky, but again, it's an early access game. So I figured I would just grab one. I like to check out early access games for whatever reason, but yeah, other than that and my fear-filled evening last night, that's pretty much the highlight of my week, what I've been up to.
Justin, what have you been up to?
Well, we're officially a week away from closing on our house.
Yeah.
So part of the week has been kind of getting the final stuff in for that. We got the all clear, like we're 100% ready for next Friday.
Awesome.
We could technically close right now if we wanted. I think that was Wednesday we got that, so it's just kind of been antsy and celebrating and stuff. It's been kind of hard to focus on games and things like that. I'm just kind of waiting for that next step. But I have played a little bit. I also got Sunset Overdrive, and I just started playing it today because I got home from work early. We had a little like holiday party, and I just left after that. Like there was no point in going back to the office when we got out at like 2:30, and I'm off at 4. I was like, I'm just gonna go home. Right. I had to deal with some stuff with our landlord anyway, so it was just easier that way. But yeah, I got home and played that a little bit. It's honestly, it started off a little funky. Like you kind of have a little intro mission where it shows you the basic instructions of how to get around and stuff like that. And the controls seemed a little clunky at first, and then you get into like the character creation. Like basically, you get your character like back home, and then you can like completely overhaul their look. So it's like you play as them, and then you get them home, and it's like, no, you can make them look however you want.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not just have that full range of character creation in the very beginning? But I didn't really like the way I made them look at first. Like once I actually got into the game, there's pretty limited hairstyles and stuff like that. So when I actually had full range of like all the clothing and things, I kind of went a little crazy with them. This is definitely the weirdest looking character I've ever made in a video game. But I thought like it's a weird game, so I'll just make a weird character to fit into this world.
Right.
But once I actually got into it, started like running around in the world and stuff, I'm like, this is Spider-Man with a gun and no swinging. Like it's literally it's the same engine. Like you can see even a lot of the animations and things are exactly the same. Like when you're running along the side of walls and like going around the corner, it looks exactly the same. And like when you like kind of do like a hop up the building and flip over the ledge,
so cool.
Same animation. Like all of it is exactly the same, but with grinding instead of swinging. And it feels really smooth to play. Like once you understand there's a button for jumping, there's a button for grinding, there's a button for shooting. Like once you get those particulars down, it moves really quickly, and you're just going like hopping onto a rail, going from that, jumping onto a bounce pad, shooting things out of the air in midair using the slow down aim. Like it's so fun.
It is.
I can see why some people say it gets a little repetitive over time.
Oh,
because if you're just like wandering around on the map, like enemies are just everywhere. It's a very like high profile, I guess, game, and that like it never stops. You can't just like free roam around. It's like you're constantly on edge of like, you know, kind of like Dead Island. I mentioned this is kind of an amalgam of a lot of different things, but the main like gameplay loop is most like Dead Island, where everything just spawns around you. So like you're gonna be, you know, completely unbothered, smashing some crates and stuff to get more money and ammo and things like that, and then suddenly things just start crawling over ledges and coming after you, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess I gotta go. Or you know, fight them, but they just keep coming as you fight them because they're drawn to the basically the blood of the enemies. So like the more you shoot, the more come in. So eventually you just gotta go. And I can see that getting old after a while, but it's still like the traversal and everything is still fun. That I don't care. But the actual like quests and stuff are a little more varied, and I'm enjoying that. And there's tons of collectibles all over the place. So it's just fun to run around the map and try to find everything while also dodging the enemies and stuff. And then there's also kind of little side missions like races, and there's like a point gather thing where you're like going on rails and like there's different point values all over the place. It kind of feels like a Tony Hawk thing almost. Because like basically the game, just to kind of summarize, the game's a mix between like Dead Island, Tony Hawk, like Jet Set Radio, which again kind of goes along with Tony Hawk, Spider-Man, and there was one other, Ratchet and Clank, because of all the weird weapons and stuff you get. Like basically the first like actual weapon you get is like basically a vinyl disc launcher. So it's kind of a rapid fire, but it's like it's shooting discs and like they're kind of going all over the, like bouncing off of things and hitting. And you can like upgrade your weapons as you go. You can add different like modifiers into them as you like get more. You kind of build up style points, and as you build up more style points, you like unlock these special powers that you've kind of equipped to your weapons. So like that disc launcher gets like electrified if I get so much style. And so it just like kind of creates an arc lightning between all the enemies after a while, and it's really cool. But yeah, it's kind of weird, like how much I've played of Spider-Man and then jumping into this, because it is the same game engine. Like you can clearly tell it's the same engine, and then it's also the same main voice actor, Yuri Lowenthal, is this main guy in this one, and nice. It plays kind of similarly. And it also like some of the like the art style choices kind of remind me of Into the Spider-Verse a little bit, because it's like there's these enemies called poppers, and they have like kind of big like bulbous like pus bags on their heads. And if you shoot them, they kind of explode in like a gooey like pop lettering. Like every single time you kill them, just like pop formed out of their blood, essentially. And like there's certain points just in cutscenes where like you'll see text kind of fly by on a train or like up in the air or something like that, and it really feels like that Into the Spider-Verse kind of like comic book style, with like text on screen and just very like over the top kind of thing. And so it's just jarring like how similar this is to Spider-Man. It kind of feels like a prototype for that game. And you know, I loved that, so I'm on board for this one. That's the main thing I was playing this week. I'll have more to report as I get further into it, but right now it's just a lot of over-the-top fun. Aside from that, I did jump into City Skylines a little bit. Thomas gifted me that on the stipulation that I have to actually play it, unlike he probably would.
Right.
So I checked it out, and like it's very technical. I don't like. I like it. I like the idea of it, but for example, you drop down roads, and the roads basically create the grid that you can put like your, you know, your residential, your commercial, your industrial kind of blocks in. But there's like a certain like space off of each road that kind of creates in grids whenever you drop the road. But it's not totally clear how big that grid is going to be until you drop the road. So you basically just have to drop them, and then like if there's a gap between your grids, you have to like move the road so that you have, you know, like no space, like no wasted space basically between. Whereas like in old SimCity games, the whole thing is a grid, and you're just kind of dropping things onto the grid. And also you can't have like power lines land where a road is, or where any other structure or anything is. You can't have pipes run along underneath roads or anything like that. Like, it's all realistic stuff, but it makes it really not fun to build a city, because you're trying to figure out how to provide water and electricity and stuff like that to all your things. But as you build more things, you have less space to put it all. Like, since nothing can overlap, you just end up like destroying structures when you have to provide more electricity to your other structures. And so little things like that, where like you just have to figure out where to put them all, because it's not terribly intuitive. And every like building you put down, like if it's just like a residential zone or whatever, there just has to be like electricity going through that zone. But if you drop like a police station or a hospital or a school or something like that, it has to have an electrical pole inside of kind of the like circular range around it. But it can't touch the building. So if you actually try to put it on the building, it'll destroy the building. But it has to be within that range. So it's really weird, like very technical stuff. There's also a lot of juggling, like the economy and like tax rates and the amount of water and electricity and stuff that's being provided. You have to make sure, you know, your population doesn't overdo your resources, things like that, which I enjoy, like the resource management element of it. But it's just, you just kind of like placing these things down, and then the city grows, and you just watch those numbers and make sure it's not too little. And then as you put new ones down, you have to adjust your electric grid and all this stuff. Like at one point, I noticed that my windmills were creating, or wind turbines, I guess, were creating a lot of noise pollution right next to the residential area, and people weren't happy. I just let it go because it's like, whatever, I don't have anywhere else to put these things. There's no people here, so I can put them here. Otherwise, it'll kill my people. And then I unlocked the ability to put wind turbine, like solar-powered wind turbines in the water. So I moved all those, deleted the ones out of my residential area. I was like, great. Still can't do anything with that space because there's no grid there, but at least my people are happy. So like, unless you build another road to create more grid, then you can't do anything. But then you can't put anything on the roads. So you're just basically filling more of your map with roads and things like that, just so you have more like kind of space between the roads to put things. And it's just, I don't know, it's not very intuitive. I can see what they're trying to do, and there's a lot more like ability, like a lot more things you can do in the game as far as like micromanaging and stuff. You can like zoom in down to the street level and place like bushes and benches and stuff around your town, like outside of other buildings, and it's really cool to see like what naturally pops up. Like if you go into the residential areas, you can see like individual houses that all look different from each other. You can see businesses pop up, and there's like a donut shop and a Pizza Hut, and well, you know, not brand name Pizza Hut, but all these different places that just pop up because you put that, you zoned that area, and then let time pass and people moved in. And that's all really neat, but just the micromanagement of it is not very fun. So I understand why it's called City Skylines XL. It's all about building a huge city from nothing, but it's a lot of just hurry up and wait, and then deleting half the stuff you've built when you need to actually improve anything. And maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I don't know. But I grew up on SimCity, which was a lot simpler, but also a lot less like managey. So I don't think I like this level of micromanagement. Like, I'm not a city planner or anything. I don't get off on the minutia of all this. I just want to build a cool city and then let Godzilla destroy it. Aside from that, just more Smash. I'm still in World of Light. I've noticed one thing about that game where I finally have a few characters in World of Light that I actually like Link. I use a lot of Link now. But you'll be going around, and like some areas will just kind of be like arbitrarily blocked off by like a 9,000 rating battle. And you're like, okay, I don't stand a chance against this person, but that's the only way to go here. So I guess I just have to come back later. So it's like, you know, Metroidvanias kind of do that by like blocking off areas with like certain weapons and stuff. This is just like, you won't be able to beat this fight unless you're just really good and like, you know, don't mind being super underpowered. so just come back later.
It's an RPG fight.
What?
It's an RPG thing.
Yeah, but it's like it'll be surrounded by things that are totally at your level, but then there's the one that you can't get past. So sometimes it's even just as simple as like going around them. So there'll be like two ways that both go to the same place. One has like a 9,000 level guy. One has like a 2,000 level guy. So you can speak to the 2,000 level and they just keep going. But the 9,000 one's still there, blocking the other way. It doesn't stop you from moving on. It just kind of is there. And part of it is because like they have the stronger spirits. So you're supposed to come back and fight those when you are, powerful enough.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just they're all kind of randomly dispersed around, and it's just kind of it feels random. There are a few that are actually there to block off a path, and that's cool. But others just feel randomly placed. But I'm still really enjoying it. There's a lot of super cool matchups. I can't think of any right now because it's been a few days since I played it, but they're really clever, and you can tell it's like the people put a lot of thought into how they're crafting these. Like, the spirit you're fighting versus what the actual character and like special abilities and things like that are attached to them. I remember one. There's been a lot of Mega Man like boss fights, and they're all stamina battles, which is fun because it's that idea of like whittling down their health. But there was one that was Snake Man, and you're just fighting Snake, like Solid Snake.
Nice.
And there's another one that was Top Man, and you're just fighting a bunch of Mega Mans, but they specifically use their like side special or whatever that sends out the whirlwind.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot of like screw attack items dropped around the map.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of those ideas of like making like using the items and the characters and like the modifiers in a way that is just a really clever battle, and it kind of feels like you're actually playing that character. So that's pretty much it.
And Ben, what have you been up to?
Similar to Justin, except I'm officially entered the Online Warrior. I've been playing a lot of online, which
I played a little bit of online.
Well, you didn't mention it, so I was assuming you were just.
I forgot.
I'm sorry.
I didn't play that much.
That's fine. That's okay. But I've taken the fight online. So far, I've had a pretty much good connections. I want to attribute that to the Ethernet adapter that I bought. Seriously, fucking buy one. They're only $15.
I did buy without it.
It's helped a lot. I play a lot of Ryu. Ryu can't have been the two characters in play because I'm trying to force these Smash kids to play Street Fighter. It's so much fun to do. And then when they jump in on you, then to do Shoryuken, just like, come on, come with me. I know you. I got you. It's crazy because I have no idea what I'm doing. Smash is such a different game in terms of its neutral, in terms of how things work, grabs. It's so weird to me. But hey, Shoryukens work. That's all that matters.
Shoryuken.
So, but I think over the past couple of days, it's early, so it's hard to tell. I'm becoming super attracted to Cloud, like not just in a very erotic way, but like in a play style way. Like I played Cloud a little bit when he came out for the Wii U, but never really delved into it. But for some reason, something about him, like he hits hard, but not too hard. He's like not super fast. He's like the perfect sort of not do everything character, but he's like not great in either one of things, in either one area or another. But he's not like Mario where he's like jack of all trades. But I like what he does. You know, his limit breaks are fun to use. His neutral B is a good way of keeping people out. You know, his side smash is so much fun to hit, especially his forward B is so good to hit. Like I really like playing Cloud so far. So I'm gonna be playing with him for the most part. But yeah, but namely occasionally go to Ken and Ryu. I did manage to nail a down B, which is Ryu's focus attack, and hit that into Shoryuken. And I literally jumped out of my seat. I'm like, yeah, eat that, bitch, eat it. Nice. It's so good. I love it.
Have you tried to do Ganondorf?
Hell no. I don't like slow characters.
No, she's so much better though.
Ganondorf?
Yeah.
Ganondorf said she. You said she.
No, I said he.
You totally said she.
My mouth. My mouth is a little funky.
I don't like Ganondorf. I don't, because he's too slow. I played him when he was in World of Light. I will never like Ganondorf because he is too damn slow for how I like to play.
Fine.
It's just I see the sword and I see the choppies. I don't like that. I like mobility in my fighters. King K. Rool is the only exception because he's more mobile than Ganon, and that doesn't make sense because he's like a 2-ton fucking alligator or crocodile, whatever the fuck he is. He's a Kremling. But yeah, so a lot of Smash, but not too much. But I've also made time for Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom because I was like, I need to play you. I bought you. I need to fucking play you. And I get so much joy to play in that game. It's not overtly hard. It's definitely not as Metroidvania as I want it to be, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine with me. I just I like just go, it's just going into different areas and using my new transformations to get to other areas. But like I just love the aesthetic of it. God damn it! I just finished one where like I just was in a pirate ship. And like you have to find all these other underwater currents, and you have to get all these ingredients to get this pirate who is like apparently he's an idiot who got his ship sunk, and like his it's like, dude, you did this to us, why did you lie? Like, what's wrong with you? He's like, because I wanted you to find me, boss. Kind of like that those new Tom and Jerry Lucy cartoons. Well, which way did he go, boss? Which way did he go? Kind of. But like that was fun, and I've gone back to a couple of areas where I didn't have access to because I didn't have the particular power. Part of me is thinking I'm gonna wait to do that once I get the remaining 2 transformations, which I think are. I know one of them's a dragon. I know you get a dragon transformation because I just got the lion one, which by the way I posted an image on Twitter, and some of the people behind the game liked it and one retweeted it. So I was like, oh yeah, you liked my shit. That was awesome. Where you like me liking your shit. Please make more good stuff. This is good. But it's super fun. Each of the transformations still bring unique power. Like Lionel, as I call him, or the lion transformation. He has this like dash move that you can dash over water or poison water. The snake's really fun for traversing stuff. But I still like playing the frog because he has like he has a tongue and he can grab onto whips. And I swear it's the closest I can get to enjoying like. It's like the closest you can get to web slinging, like as if you're Spider-Man, but you're a frog. It's so awesome. It's so fast. It's so great. But yeah, this game is really fun. If this seems interesting, you just buy it. Like wait till it goes on sale. It's like a little pricey right now. It's like $40, I think. But even then, I still think it's worth it. And the soundtrack is so good too. I love the soundtrack. Outside of that, I play a little bit of Resident Evil Revelations 2 on the Switch. I'm taking that one slowly. I kind of wish I had a buddy to play it with because I feel like that's how the game's designed.
Yeah. Is it 2-player?
Yeah. Yes, 2-player. Online and local split screen, which I'm not doing that. But like, because you have to play. You play as 2 characters. Claire, which by the way, to me, it's really weird to see an older Claire because I always forever see her as like teenage Claire from Resident Evil 2, younger voice. Here she's like in her 30s, she's mature. I'm like, Claire, what happened? Oh my god, you got older. Anyways, but like you play with her and you also play with her partner is Moira Burton, which is the daughter of Barry Burton because there's no such thing as coincidence in Resident Evil. And Claire kind of acts as your combat. Moira can use her flashlight to find things, and you have to constantly switch me things. I think it'd be more fun to have somebody be Moira or Claire, and like, okay, you concentrate on doing this, and you concentrate on doing this. I feel like that's what the game's designed. But I'm gonna push through. I'm taking it in small chunks so that it looks really good on the Switch. The only downside is its long load times, but like it's no frame rate drops. It looks nice. It looks pretty good for what it is. It was a PS3 game, so
it's PS3. I thought it was a PSP.
No. This is a PS3 game.
Revelations 1 was a 3DS exclusive. Revelations 2 was on consoles.
Yeah, and I really want to get Revelations 1 just to play it on a bigger TV because I really like Revelations 1 a lot. But
I thought they're bundled together. Like on
no, well, if you physically, yes, but I bought it.
Okay.
And I was like, well, if I want to play Revelations 1, I can just boot up the 3DS version because I've played that game so many times. I don't mind playing it that way, but I will want to eventually because like it's on sale for like $15 or like $13 right now, so I might just do it now. But I have no urgency to play it, but it's fine because I just want to get a Resident Evil kick, and 4 is not on the Switch yet, so this is a perfectly fine substitution so far. I just got to the point where Barry is on the island looking for his daughter, and he's joined by this weird little girl who I have no idea what it's about. She's just there. I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird, but then I stop. That's all I've really been playing. Smash is kind of dominating my life, and I will be the best anime boy with Cloud. I'm gonna be a Cloud main until I try another character. But yeah, I haven't tried most of the cast. Like I have yet to touch Ridley, and I'm kind of curious in how that.
I really liked Ridley. I used him online, and he's one of my favorites. I knew he would be, but like he's big and still fast. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I want to play him a little bit. But yeah, so far that's pretty good. I like it. Smash is good, but that's all for me.
Okay, and so for me, I've been doing Destiny again. They unlocked the 3rd Forge, so I've been working my way on that. They just keep rolling out content, which is great. I keep needing to catch up. Also, there's some great stuff happening with that I spoiled for these guys before the show, but if you haven't done it yet, go and to the Queen's throne room this week, and you'll have a really cool surprise. But other than that, I finally got Spider-Man for the PS4. My friend gave me the a $50 gift card, so it was on sale for $50. So I went to go ahead and grab that. And yeah, that game's actually fun, and not like their other game that you guys like.
What?
You guys know I don't like. I don't even remember the name of that game anymore.
Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive. You guys know I don't like.
It's the same engine. It's literally the same engine.
Yeah, but it's not the same game. Like the things to do in Spider-Man are actually fun.
It's not. Like the traversal in Spider-Man is way more fun.
Yeah. It's just the thing.
Still.
Like I like the traversal in like Sunset Overdrive. It's just like I didn't like the things that they wanted me to do. I was like, this is not something that I enjoy doing. But Spider-Man's been pretty awesome. It took me a while. It took me like an hour or two to like get a hold of the controls of like both traversal and combat. But once you get that down, like there's a lot that you can actually do with combat. There's like different spider gadgets, takedowns. Like it's the same kind of combat as Batman. We all know that, but
I think it's better.
Yeah, I don't know. It's about the same for me. But I'm just saying.
It feels a little more fluid because you're kind of like you're zipping to enemies. Batman felt more like he was just kind of pivoting and hitting. But Spider-Man like flies across the level, across the area.
I could do that with Batman. It was just weird because he would just like go from one end of the room and then just like do cartwheels to the other end of the room. But
it's weird. It's weird with Batman. It's more natural with Spider-Man.
Yeah, and he didn't have the same aerial abilities.
Right.
Like once you unlock the whole skill tree, you'll see.
Right. But yeah, I've been enjoying the swinging around stuff. I finally got a hold of the pivot, I think, or the pole vault or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I was like, I'm never gonna use this, and then I finally figured it out. I'm like, yeah, this is a great ability. Like.
You mean where you launch into the air?
Yeah, where you like jump onto something, and then you launch yourself. Yeah.
Oh no!
Nice.
There's another one where like literally you can hold the button, like the jump button, and then just shoot up straight into the air.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Which is something I was really upset about before I started the game, or when I first started the game, because I was like, Spider-Man doesn't really have any ups in this game. Like in the past, you can just kind of launch yourself, like just kind of straight out. Like in the movies, they show him like leaping from building to building.
Right.
Like there was nothing like that, and then it's a skill you unlock, and I use that all the time.
One thing that I thought that was like quite out of place, like I know they want to have like mini games to up your like XP or something, but they have the pipe mini game from like 2006, and I was just like really surprised about that. But it's I don't know.
You didn't like that?
It's okay, like it's all right. It's just a little weird, like.
One where you can buy like when you find new chemicals or whatever is way better.
Okay.
Like genome sequencing or whatever it is.
Yeah, like finding the patterns. That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like them both.
Yeah. It's fine. It just reminds me of BioShock, that's all.
I think I've heard that before.
Right. So for this game, I'm probably gonna go around and get all the collectibles, just like I do with every open world game. I try to get all the collectibles.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the collectibles, like the backpacks, it's kind of fun because it's like an item from his past, and he talks about it a little bit, and you get a little window into the history of this Batman or this Spider-Man. I think what I'm gonna do, like, normally I would only have like 1 or 2 costumes that I would stick with, but I think I'm gonna go through, like, try and get all the costumes and use them while I'm swinging around for collectibles. That way I'm not always staring at the same costume. I find like the noir one's pretty cool when at nighttime. So whenever it's night, I might switch to like a black costume or something.
There's a few that have like glowing parts, and like they actually glow at night, and I think you'll find you don't use the noir one very long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. There's like a mod system in this. Like you get your abilities and also the mods that you put in. I don't know why you wouldn't have the XP mod until you're fully leveled up. So that's a good tip. Just use that XP mod.
Because there's way better ones.
Yeah, but like
That's
when you, I'm someone that always needs to have XP gains, like no matter what. So
oh,
right.
I mean, I got to level 50, like the level cap, before the end of the game, just playing through normally, so it wasn't a big deal. You can still level up after 50. It's just like it's superior levels, and you raise like a 1 HP, and like your stats kind of boost a little bit. It's nothing major.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm an XP horde. I don't know.
It gets hard, so I get it, but I'm just saying you don't really need it in that game.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, just I'm a couple hours in. I like what they're doing with some of the characters in this. Like a new spin on them. Some that I haven't seen before. Yeah, I just need to play some more. I'm going to play a bunch of it over the weekend.
Nice.
And the other game that I've been playing is Donut County. You guys heard of this one?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
So it's kind of like a Katamari Damacy thing. But instead of like rolling things up, you're just using your mouse cursor to like make a hole bigger until you swallow up like a house or apartment buildings or something.
Interesting.
To swallow up the thing that you need to swallow. And the story behind this is that there's these raccoons that have been kind of just like ransacking the city and stealing everyone's trash, and they're kind of the reason behind the whole thing. When you get to the boss, it's not that, like, I wasn't really there for boss fights, and like they do some fun stuff with the mechanics, but the boss fight itself is kind of just like whatever. I was just mostly there for the Katamari Damacy thing, where you swallow blades of grass and then you go up to like fences and a bunch of other bigger stuff until you swallow up houses and stuff. Like that's really fun for me. It only took a couple hours to do, so you know, if you get it cheap, spend a couple hours. It's a fun little thing to play.
Weird. Sounds like Everything. Or what was that game called? Was it Everything, I think?
Yeah, but no, it's more it's way more Katamari.
Oh.
Yeah. Just like getting small things to make them bigger.
Oh yeah.
Swallowing and making things big. Oh yeah.
I'm making my small things bigger.
Then I was gonna say, Justin, where can the people find your small things getting big?
Oh, are we ending it there?
I don't know.
I wanted to share Christmas stories.
Oh,
We don't share. It's the Christmas episode.
I don't really.
We
have
opened
any,
with Santa Horse.
I don't have any Christmas stories for my gaming though.
Why are you lame?
Wow, that's mean. That's like really mean.
Be more interested.
Wow, jeez, the Mr. Holiday spirit over here.
Oh boy.
No, I mean, it was just a suggestion. I have stories.
Go ahead and
They're
share
not
your
that
story if you
interesting.
want to share. I just don't have anything for my youth.
Justin, AKA, let me talk about Christmas.
Well, no, I thought, you know, everyone has like their like their most memorable Christmas gift or something like that. Like some Christmas that stands out to them.
Mine was an RC car.
Yeah, when my dad came back home. Oh wait, never mind.
Ho 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 ho.
No, I'm kidding. Love you, Dad. He doesn't listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about your dad all the time. Like you and Thomas are the ones that like are in constant contact with your dads.
Mhm.
I'm the only one with daddy issues here. Step off.
Yeah, but Justin, you want to
Yeah.
share your story?
Yeah. Well, there's kind of two. One's more important than the other, but like my main Christmas memory, I think, like as a kid, was the year that my brother and we were probably like 8 or so, or I was 8, I should say. We came down and like we're super excited to go to our stockings, and pulled out coal, like just little bags, like kind of like little like this size bag of coal. And we just looked at like we were really upset because like our parents weren't up yet, and we are just like, is there anything else, like trying to get down into the boot part? Is there anything else in here? Like were we bad? Like what happened? And I could just hear our parents like laughing as they were coming out of the hallway. And they're like, "Oh, what did Santa bring you?" Like, trying to hold it back. And like I think I don't remember exactly. This is like 20 years ago, but I think I started crying a little bit. And they were like, psych, like, and then they opened up the closet like in the living room, and all of our toys were like unwrapped, by the way, up at the top of the closet. And so they pulled all the stuff down. There was actually an RC car, like a cool, like yellow Corvette type thing. But the reason it's important is because it was the year that we both got Game Boys, like our first Game Boys.
Nice.
So like we actually got like the red, like red bricks. So it wasn't the Game Boy Color; it was a colored Game Boy. And mine had Centipede and Kirby's Dream Land. And my brothers had Donkey Kong Land, which means I beat both of my games in 5 minutes, and then we both fought over Donkey Kong Land. But yeah, like that was a a super cool year because it's like they totally duped us. Like we were such gullible kids, but it ended with us getting Game Boys, and that's neat. But what I really wanted to talk about was my favorite gift of all time, just because like thinking back, it was probably the most memorable thing, like the probably the biggest impact on me. And I think I was like 13 or something like that. And I got one present because my mom had a gift limit, and I always wanted the expensive stuff. Like I would find things that were like right at the like 150 mark. Because I figured if it was cheap, I could just, save up my allowance and buy it, like games and things like that. I didn't usually worry about that stuff. I wanted the things that were like, that's so much money. So yeah, my brother opened all these things. I don't even remember what he got. And I opened my one gift, which was a little mini DV camcorder, like video camcorder. And it's important because it started my love of video production.
Nice.
Which is really cool. Like, so it wasn't fancy, and I actually still have it because, like, sometimes you just want to film something like looking old. Like, there's I think there's a novelty in that old tape, like that analog look of film. And so I hold on to it for that just in case it still works. Nice. But yeah, like I would just play around with it, like take it out, like film random things. I kept filling up all my tapes and having to buy new ones because they go bad eventually. The fun part of tape. But I would make these little like video compilations, like from birthday parties and things like that. Just kind of cutting together the funny parts of my friends playing video games. Like I remember, it's probably still on Facebook somewhere. Honestly, I could probably find it. This old video that I cut together of like a kind of a montage of us playing WarioWare, the WarioWare on Wii. I don't remember which one that was. When we were like 16, 17, something like that. And I cut it together using Windows Movie Maker. Like I couldn't really do any effects or anything. And then like around that same time, my friends and I would make little like skits in high school. Again, just, editing them in Windows Movie Maker and putting them out, nothing fancy. But yeah, like it all started from that like one gift that I got one Christmas. And now like I want that to be my career. So I just thought, you know, I think about that sometimes. And I'm like, man, what if I didn't get that camera that year? Like, what would have happened? Would I have not found that, you know, that it, like, would I not have had that itch scratched, or would I found another way? So it's just interesting to think about those things that kind of changed your life that are just like little things.
Yeah.
So
that's
why I wanted to talk about it.
I got one. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So the Sega Dreamcast is the greatest console of all time.
True.
And there was not a Christmas gift, but because my dad worked at a video game store, so we got it. But the following year, in February 2000, one of the greatest fighting games of all time came out, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I wanted that game. It came out in February. It was my birthday, but my dad couldn't get it. It's for whatever reason. I don't remember why. And if, like, you know, like a little kid, cry, whatever. You know, he's not going to get it, you know? And then I remember, and for Christmas, I didn't even ask for it. I was like, it's not going to happen. Whatever. I'll just ask for other things. And I remember my dad, my parents, you know, I was very spoiled as a child. I'll just openly say that. And my parents could get me and my brothers multiple gifts. We were very blessed. And I remember he pulled me aside and he goes, "Son, I have something special for you." And like, okay. So he pulls me aside and then he goes, "Okay, don't show your brothers, but I got this especially for you because you did well in school and this and that." And he says, "What is this?" Just open it. It's a little square box. It's like, well, is it a CD? Because I just started listening to music more. I'm like, oh, what is this? And so I open it up and I see the M. I see Mar, and I open it up and it was Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for the Dreamcast.
No.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god! And it was like,
nice.
Then Take You for the Ride played for the rest of the night in my room, and it was so much. I unlocked every character as the entire fucking day. And I would play with my younger brother, and we would argue. But yeah, that to me is the one I remember the most.
Such a good game.
Yeah, which is why, even though I don't have the Dreamcast version anymore, I'm glad I have the PS2, at least the PS2 version, to pop in whenever I want to play.
Obviously, you're gonna say you still have that disc.
No, that I don't want to talk about what happened to that. But yeah, Merry Christmas and to Marvel, baby. Yeah, I want to believe that game is the one that made me like, because I played Street Fighter. But I want to believe that was the game that made me go, I love fighting games. I want to say it was that. I could be wrong. It may just have been just playing Street Fighter 2 and my younger brother getting mad at me whenever I would grab him, because back in those days, grabbing was cheating. Tell him, Mom. Oh yeah, it's like, Mom, he threw me again, or like, bro, you throw? What's wrong with you? You know,
your brother across the room?
Yeah.
Good old house rules.
Yeah. No throwing. I'm like, fuck.
No throwing.
Yeah. Marvel 2, baby. Hopefully, maybe it'll get re-released in some point. Who knows?
I want them to re-release that and Capcom versus SNK 2. Those are the only two I want. I just want those two. I want my groove systems.
I know that one.
I want like all the versus games. I want X-Men versus Street Fighter. I want Marvel Superhero.
Would be amazing.
Oh yeah, Marvel Heroes versus Street Fighter, of course, Marvel 1 and 2, and just fucking throw 3 in Ultimate. You know, just throw those in there.
Yeah, why the hell not?
Yeah, nobody's playing them anymore. Well, nobody. Well, most.
That one that matters.
Not the exact. Oh, but yeah. Marvel, baby.
Lo, do you have anything?
Well, it's actually kind of funny because I actually grew up not celebrating Christmas because
my your
family
birthday.
was. Yeah, well, it's an interesting story because I grew up not celebrating Christmas. My family is witness and stuff like that, and so it was really confusing growing up because it was like, yeah, it's my birthday, but like, it's like I don't know, it's weird because it's like, you know, everyone's always excited about Christmas and stuff like that. And, you know, I had shitty friends when I was young, so I'd always forget. Like, oh, it's Christmas. It was like, well, it's another day too. It's like, yeah, it's Jesus' birthday. I'm like, no, screw you then. But, so my most memorable birthday / Christmas was actually my 21st birthday because, hey, I can drink, first of all. And second of all, I just so what I ended up doing was that day, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to put on a Santa hat. I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to buy as much liquor as I can afford. And then I'm going to have a party that I'm going to invite everybody over. And the thing is, Christmas Day, people are like with their families and shit. So it was just like, okay, so anybody who doesn't have anything to do, because I ain't got shit to do, I'm just getting drunk. So come get drunk with me. So it ended up being a pretty good time. So there was all that, and I don't know. It was I didn't really get many gifts that year, so I'd like to think that I gave the gift of alcohol and a good evening to my friends and stuff. So it was fun. It was a good time.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't think of anything, Thomas?
No, I don't have anything.
What about the time you stole Christmas?
What?
Because you're the Grinch.
Because I'm a Grinch. Okay.
Like, why are we being
I got it.
mean? It's not fucking holidays, man.
It was soft jab. It wasn't anything mean. It wasn't.
I'm Mexican. I have to deal with fucking under backhanded shit all the time. I don't need that here.
No, it's just like, so like gaming is like such a constant in my life that I don't have any real special holiday attachments to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like my dad would always just buy games and bring them and be like, "Hey, let's play Half-Life 2." I'm like, "Sweet." Let's.
I mean, my camera story wasn't gaming related. It was just something personal and important to me.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Don't push him. It's fine. The important thing is we're all together and we all somewhat tolerate each other.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, I barely celebrate the holiday now, so it's, you know.
I don't know what you mean. Like, everyone's counting those days till Christmas, and I'm just like, house. I honestly, I keep forgetting that Christmas is Tuesday. I'm just like, okay, I've got a 4-day weekend, and then 2 days of work, and then a 5-day weekend.
I'm sleeping.
Nice. So yeah, Justin, where can people find your stuff?
They can find me if they look up Zero Score on Twitter or YouTube, and also if they look up Zero Score Gaming on Twitch. I will hopefully stream after I get moved in.
And Lo.
Y'all can find me on Twitter at Nero the Hero, N3R0, THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Nero the Hero, all with letters. And you can find me here with the Charge Shot voice. And don't ever try to break into my house because I'll have none but bullets for you. None but bullets for you.
Black Jesus has come to claim your life.
I'll have none but bullets for him too.
No, you're Black Jesus. You're born on
Yeah,
Christmas.
Black Jesus has risen, and he's pissed.
I'm about to bust a cap, motherfucker. Also, Merry Christmas.
It's my birthday.
I'm Ben.
Twitter.com/marvelous Iggy for all your anime titty needs.
All of them, huh?
Oh,
I'm
you did the
holding
real
you
thing.
to that.
Yeah, do the real thing. It's Christmas. I'm gonna be wholesome this time.
Except for the anime titties.
Anime titties are wholesome. They're warm. They're like, they give you. It's cold out there. Just bury yourself in some anime titties. Nobody's gonna judge you.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
And you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter, CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also email me, thomas@charshot.com. And also visit our website, charshot.com, where all of your audio, video, and written content needs are fulfilled. And until then, guys, Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Santa baby.
That's
something.
Oh,
I don't know this song. So long.
Oh my God.
There's definitely
the
something
end of
long
this
going
show.
right now.
It's also weird whenever a dude sings it. It's just also I'm like, stop. It's not. It's meant for a woman. Stop. Oh.
How dare you be sexist?
Yeah. Anyone can be anything these days, Ben.
How dare you?
That's true.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
I don't actually have to do something. But yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Let's go. Outside of me being weirded out, Macaulay Culkin's fucking embracing his, Home Alone persona. That shit's
He's not
good to
doing
me.
anything else. Why not?
I know, it's just weird to me because
I like that he's back and he's just like he's just like, yo, I'm that kid from Home Alone. I'm cool now.
He looks rough.
Yeah, but he seems like
Yeah.
he's happy right now.
You see that thumbnail of him in the video game, and I'm like, well, I felt bad for him, honestly, because no disrespect to the nerd, I'm like, wow, this is what he's resorted to now. Okay, a YouTube channel, that's nice.
Well, I mean,
It's
it's better than
2018.
sucking people off for money.
it's weird. It's just weird, man, because just in a certain way. That's all.
Welcome to the Video Game News and News Show, hosted by your host Thomas and Macaulay Culkin.
I'm a kid. I didn't know you were going with that. You're right. I wasn't ready.
Oh, that's
Hey,
great.
it's Justin.
And also Lo
Hey, everyone.
and Ben.
Esports are ruining everything.
Yes, they are.
Speaking of esports,
Oh, we're just gonna go right into me? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's
You
fine.
did
with
the
my-
segue.
Yeah, we're gonna go into you.
Okay, I didn't think nobody ever takes my cues before. But anyways, to not go any further. So if you
Go
don't,
inside bed.
this is a new thing. So if you don't follow esports or fighting games in general, but this is one part of a larger story, so keep that in mind. It was recently announced on Twitter that Anime Ascension, an event that's is gonna happen next year, February 15th to the 16th. This is not an advertisement. Dragon Ball Fighters was initially a game for it, obviously because it's an anime, but as of today, it is now no longer listed as a game that's being run there. Now, you may think, okay, this is one-off, whatever. This isn't the first time. Earlier this year, an event called DreamHack Atlanta. They were forced to I believe Dragon Ball Fighters was removed as well, and the more bigger one, which I didn't bring up because I figured nobody would care, but it's kind of related to the story, is that Evo Japan officially announced its games that will be on the main show, and surprisingly, Dragon Ball Fighters is not one of them.
Really?
Considering it's the biggest, one of the most popular games in the world, and it's in the heart of Japan, a place that loves Dragon Ball. So, and now people are even speculating that it might not even be at Evo this year. And there's a lot of speculation that Toei, the publisher or basically the copyright owners of Dragon Ball, are not happy with the fact that Dragon Ball Fighters has turned into this big esports thing. If you're not aware, Dragon Ball Fighters, when it first came out, it was kind of like grassroots, like more local players doing their own thing. Then around mid this year, around in the summer, I think right around when I went to Chicago, they had announced the Dragon Ball Fighters World Tour, and their grand finals is coming up either next month or in February. And I want to say it's next month because Evo Japan's in February. So it's a big thing. Now it's a huge thing. Now there's money. It's esports involved, big tournaments, big events all over the world. But apparently, Toei is not happy with this. Allegedly, there's no concrete proof. But the fact that they're pulling so many events, and also there's a relating to a story where they were trying to show the finale to Dragon Ball Super, that the Mexican government was like, "Hey, we should show this on the big screen for everybody," and the Japanese ambassador had to send a cease and desist letter to the Mexican.
Really?
Yeah. So this is basically sort of like it ties into esports in that, like if you go to any Kotaku article, Polygon, there's a lot of talk about esports is blowing up, but really, and if you actually listen to those scenes, like esports is on a fucking bubble and it's gonna burst because so many people are getting in there. Where's all this money going?
Yeah.
And of course the danger Dragon Ball thing is that all it takes is for a ownership to go, no, and that's all it takes to not want to do this. Like a lot of people, a lot of top FGC players are trying to tell the Dragon Ball fighters, like, hey guys, you may want to switch games because the money's just not going to be there. There's a reason why a lot of people don't play Marvel or some of the other games. Like, yeah, those are fun, but you got a livelihood to make. You got to make the choice. Right. A lot of players still play Street Fighter, even though they may like Marvel better or any other of these smaller games better, but the money's not there. Capcom is at least putting up the money. Not even Tekken's doing that much. The prize money at Tekken World Tour, which was happening a couple months ago, the prize money shrunk. And in addition, this is not fighting games related, but Blizzard will no longer be putting money into its Heroes of the Storm division.
Yeah.
So they're dropping that. So a lot of players are not just players, casters, all those jobs, they're just gone because Blizzard wants to focus their attention on other things. And I think that's where this is like a cautionary tale. It's just beginning. It's not, and I think fighting games are going to be fine because fighting games have always been grassroots. They've done it before the sponsors. Evo was a thing before ESPN or any of them got involved, or the Mandalorian fighting got involved. So they're going to be fine. My concern is for these other players, these other big games it's not like games like Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat. I think those games are perfectly okay because those companies at least understand we need this community to thrive. Capcom Cup, they just announced You know, they like it was a $250,000 prize. That's a lot of money for that. They know, like a lot of their money comes from their esports events. Not a lot, but enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't keep doing it. You know, it's just they'd be losing too much money. And of course, Mortal Kombat, that team is in the heart of America. They know that the heart and soul of that is people watching their game. So when and of course, when you don't have people watching the game, it's like, it's for fans. This is nothing. If you're a casual player, this means nothing to you. But this is just more of like, if you think you're gonna want to play a game in esports, you might want to pick, and you might want to be very careful about what you pick. Because Dragon Ball, while a very fun game, if all it takes is to change the leadership to go, we don't want to do this anymore, and all that money's gone, and all that thing is gone. There's none of that. And what are you left with? Some players are multi-game faceted, but like I don't know. What are y'all thoughts on this as like casual people? Because like I'm like, this to me terrifies me. People who like, I love watching Dragon Ball whenever I can, because it's an amazing game to watch. But this is definitely a scary time for Dragon Ball fighter players.
To be honest with you, I never really even thought about it from that perspective. Like, oh, like you might want to think about playing a different game because there's no money in it, kind of thing. It's almost like going up to like a kickboxer and be like, hey, dude, you should probably switch to Taekwondo because there's no money in kickbox, that kind of thing. It's just kind of like a weird thought to me. So it's just like, but I mean, it makes sense, but what doesn't make sense to me is just like how like crazy like popular and how quickly fighters caught on, and then just to see it be like, hey, well, there's like almost no support for it financially anymore. I guess
they're still doing it. Like there's again the World Tour is still going on. There's still events, but the fact that they've again no Evo Japan, which is going to be a big show. No, and of course again there's no confirmation on it, but there's a lot of people are basically people are already assuming it's not going to be at Evo because Toei is going to come in and be like, we don't want that there. They allowed it this year because they weren't sure what it was yet, but now that they have an understanding of what Dragon Ball FighterZ is, a lot of people are not expecting Dragon Ball FighterZ to return, despite it being one of the more popular things to watch during Evo of this past year.
Why would Toei not want to have
They don't see
any
Dragon.
involvement?
They don't, according to like people who are very close to it, and these are people like within the FGC who have connections, so they don't say this stuff lightly, and they can't say much because otherwise they get their contacts in trouble. Basically, from what the argument is that Toei doesn't believe that's how Dragon Ball should be represented.
Oh, really? Man.
Yeah.
Really? That's a
seems-
fighting freaking anime. Why would it not be represented by fighting a game in a fighting game tournament? That doesn't make any damn
It's the
sense to me.
competitive money-making aspect. Japan is very weird when it comes to competitive esports. That's where the issue is. The fact that it's tournaments, that's one thing. But like when money is being made and they're not 100% controlled, that's where the issue is, and the fact they don't believe their IP is being used correctly.
Aren't there like a ton of really good esports players that come from Japan too, though? Like
That doesn't mean anything. Not to them.
That's that's strange. So is it a cultural thing? Do you think it is? Like,
It's a cultural thing. Like some like Capcom understands it because again that's where their business, that's where a lot of their practices thrive.
Yeah.
And then of course Arxis understands it. But like again they answer to Toei that they're the final say because they hold the license to it.
Yeah.
Jeez, that is crazy.
Yeah, I thought like because it does seem like it's Toei, just from all the circumstantial evidence. But I thought maybe it's because they weren't getting a good deal or like maybe something like that. But
that is speculation that maybe that Toei is asking quite a lot, and because and if you don't know, Evo Japan, they actually lost a lot of money doing it because it was a free event because you technically cannot charge for something like that. So some people are speculating that because it wasn't at Evo Japan that they didn't want to pay the amount of the licensing fee. But because the reason why people are thinking Toei is meddling so much and they don't want it is because how many events are being ruined. And if it doesn't appear, if they announce the main 8-game lineup at Evo in February and Dragon Ball FighterZ isn't going to be on that list, they're gonna the fingers are going to point to Toei. I guarantee it. And that's pretty much the smoking gun right there. If it's not the biggest show of the year.
Yeah. Very interesting.
I mean, that's what happened. That's what happened with Marvel. Like Marvel Infinite. That's the only reason Infinite was not at Evo last year is because Marvel would not play ball. That's the bottom line, or at least that's the speculation to a lot of the bigger FGC guys who have the in. And again, they don't say that stuff lightly. They don't allude stuff unless they mean it, basically.
Yeah.
So since
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to ask Ben a question. So since you're a lot more ingrained in the fighting game sort of community than we are, for people who do want to get into like competitive and stuff, what game would you recommend that they?
Well, Mortal Kombat, actually, Street Fighter is a good one, but that might be that might be the most dangerous because Street Fighter 5 right now has the deepest talent pool than it's ever had in Street Fighter history. The level of talent in that game, even down to like lore, is ridiculous. Let alone the consistency of the top players. Your best if you're looking to get into esports and you want to start competitive gaming, your best bet is Mortal Kombat. Because Mortal Kombat, I believe NetherRealm did a good job with some of the prize money with Injustice and MKX, and you know it showcases a lot, and they had a good world tour. They had a good tour. Mortal Kombat actually, MKX, if I remember, had a bigger prize pool, or if not as big than Capcom Cup that year, which was like 2 years ago. So if you want money, either Street Fighter or MK. That's where the money is, at least.
Yeah, we've like the fighting game community has seen something like this even with Smash, when Nintendo was like, "No, this is not a competitive game. What are you guys doing?"
Yeah, if you always remember, they the day before Evo, Nintendo said you will not play Melee at Evo, and the same day because people complained on the internet, and then they got it. Okay, that's fine, that's okay. Yeah. So like it's and Smash Ultimate's not even a game at Evo Japan, which is also crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that if these companies don't want them there anymore, they can just wave their hands or snap their fingers and it all goes away.
You think like at the end of the day it would be like, oh well, it's good publicity for our game. So
that's probably why most people don't like. Most of the companies don't do it. It's just the ones that are very fickle and
They don't.
It's kind of the best way to show off your game because it's the top tier players saying, "Here's what's capable in this game."
Right.
It's not the ones that are just button mashing and not have any idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah, but moving on to another fighting game news, we have Kage.
Yeah, so Capcom Cup was last weekend. Congratulations to Gachikun for winning, being the Capcom World Tour champion this year, who plays my main character, Rashido. So at the end of the thing, everybody was speculating. Actually, here's something really funny about it. Kage was technically released during Capcom Cup because there was a patch that went live on the PS4 that was meant to go after Capcom Cup. That was already on PS4. So while Capcom Cup was going on, Kage wasn't playable, but it also had the new balance changes. So my Twitter feed, which is instead of Capcom Cup stuff, it was flooded with new combos, new combo routes. That was all supposed to be a surprise. So somebody fucked up there, which sucks. But basically, Kage, if you don't know, if you haven't seen him, he's basically Evil Ryu for Street Fighter V. He has very unique moveset. He has air teleports. Mid-air teleports is just pretty crazy. He's a pretty crazy character. He's basically, if you play Ultra Street Fighter 4, he's basically the Oni version of Evil Ryu.
Why does he have cat ears?
Oh, those are devil horns.
I think they're cat ears.
It's not a great design. The fangs and the horns are not great. Like nobody likes those. In fact, there's already a mod out there to remove them. So if you don't want,
sure,
turn them into cat ears.
So basically Kage is in Japanese it literally means shadow, and I love how Capcom revealed it because whenever they reveal a new character, they'll show a logo and the logo will be different. But like about 2 hours before Capcom Cup, they showed it and it was just the logo. I'm like, well, what's that supposed to mean? And then if you look at it afterwards, like it's drop shadow. It's literally shadow, and Kage means shadow. So it's like clever. But Kage is pretty cool. But the bigger thing, not just about Kage, is that last year, Street Fighter V kind of gave everybody what they wanted. They announced all the characters. You got Sakura, you got Sagat, you got Blanca, you got 2 new characters, you got G, President of the World. and you know, it showed this cool trailer. By the way, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's an awesome trailer. And but this year everybody was like, what do we expect now? Like, this was the first Street Fighter Capcom Cup of Street Fighter V, where not everybody was sure what we were getting, because all the characters that we had wanted were kind of there. There were like maybe one or two characters that weren't in the game. Were data leaks that implied certain characters getting in, and there was no reveal of other characters besides Kage. That's it. And he was available to buy that same night. No season pass. And then earlier this week, or later that week rather, or earlier this week, time travel was confusing. Capcom announced they will not be doing a season pass for the 2019 characters, and more information will come to later. And that is leading a lot of people to speculate that Street Fighter V, and again, this is a speculation, will go to free to play before 2019 is over, and
really
just do what Killer Instinct did, where you can download the game and certain characters will be on rotation, but if you want the full game, here's $40.
That'd be interesting, actually.
That would be interesting.
It's not a terrible idea.
No, it's not.
It's not. Again, they haven't. There's no confirmation of more characters. They did allude to more characters, but they will have more information at a later time. We don't know when that's in. A lot of people speculate it's going to be early next year or sometime in January before EVO Japan, but we do not know. So the future of Street Fighter V is kind of uncertain right now. I mean, the game to me is in its best state. The roster is really great, and now with the addition of Kage, all the arcade modes are really great. The new, granted, there's loot boxes in the game now, which I'm not happy about, but I don't ever touch those. Or if I do, the game actually gives you like one free ticket, and I just use that, and then I just wait till my next turn. So, but if you are a person who's addicted to personality, it's a problem. There's a lot of stuff in it now, so it's the game where it should have been 2 years ago or 3 years ago. 3 years ago, this February. But I'm just worried as of like what's the next day for it? What's 2019 going to look like for Street Fighter V?
Whenever there's that like fight money currency or whatever in the game, that's a good way to shift to free to play.
Yeah, well, that's been there since launch.
Has it?
That's fight money's been in there since launch. You earn that by doing stuff. They've actually added more ways to get fight money since then, and of course we talked about the advertisements, which they're god awful.
Yeah.
So that's always been in there, but yeah, a lot of the fingers are pointing to it going free to play, which would be huge because Japanese companies typically don't do this. Like it's an American model that does this kind of stuff.
It kind of makes you wonder if maybe it was kind of part of the plan to begin with the implementation of the fight money and being able to get the characters individually. Either way, it'd be an interesting thing. I feel like it would be probably the best move, considering because this way they can just have it be an ongoing game. And I mean, is it officially called Street Fighter V or is it Street Fighter V?
It's Street Fighter V. People call it 5. Okay. Just it's Roman numeral V.
Gotcha. Okay, because I was just wondering. I was like, maybe they'll rename it to Street Fighter V.
Ever since Metal Gear Solid 5 came out with the V, everyone's just like, oh, it's not 5, it's V.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I always hear different things. I always hear different things from different people.
To be fair,
right?
I guess Devil May Cry V. So
well, just like X can be crossed as well. You know,
like or 10. You know,
or 10. Yeah. Who knows? It's just I don't know.
But Mega Man X is not Mega Man 10.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But yeah, it's just so it's gonna be interesting. Like part of me is like kind of accepting the fact, well, this might be the final year of support for Street Fighter V. Now that doesn't mean Street Fighter 6 will come out in like 2020, maybe 2021. But even then, I feel like I think, and this is coming from a streamer that I watch, Maximilian Dude, which I brought up before, that Street Fighter V will do what Killer Instinct did in its 4th season, where we won't get a full 6 roster of characters. We'll get like maybe 3, which would be fine. I'm fine. The game has full characters as it is with their own unique play styles, and they all feel different. None of them feel like clones. Like even Ken and Ryu don't have that clone problem anymore. They're far different from each other now. So I feel like if they do it, I better get a fucking Founders Pack because I've been playing that fucking game since day one. And I put money into it. That's all I'm saying, Capcom. If you're gonna do this, I better get like a shit ton of fight money to buy all those costumes I want, including that Chun-Li wedding dress one.
You get a special badge.
All the characters are gonna be locked again.
But yeah, that's really it. Street Fighter V, go buy it. It was like 50% off. It's a fun game. I think it's fun.
Maybe I'll reinstall it. Jump back in.
Yeah, we should fight, but I don't I don't. Maybe I'll. Yeah, we should fight again.
I heard they fixed the net code's a bit significantly improved, so we'll give it another shot.
Plus, I have an Ethernet cord now, so I'm wired in versus how we were last time.
Nice. Okay, cool.
But that's it.
Moving on to another fighting-ish game. Smash Bros. Ultimate has a green screen stage.
I put this in here just for you, for the record.
I love the flex tape one. That's all I'm gonna say.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's so great.
Have you
I
guys,
don't know what is the stage.
I don't know. I fought on it once. I was like, I don't know how you got it, how that person got it, but it just showed up.
It's pretty great as an idea, but
so it's not something you can just go to and do?
I don't know.
It has to be, but I've never selected it. It's got to be. It's definitely an Omega version of a stage. I just don't know which one.
Oh.
And
At least it's just a very bland platform, and I assume it's a straight green screen behind it because it looks really smooth. So I don't know what that would be.
it exists though. I fought on it.
That's crazy.
It's pretty awesome. I love the idea and the implications it can bring, but
It's cool.
I just don't know what it is.
Interesting. You guys have any plans to try and put some stuff on there or no?
I want to find out what it is, and that could be fun. But I don't know what. But no, there's a lot of people like in the comments on this video talking about like, well, Sonic is in Smash, and Persona is developed by Sega as well. So it's not unreasonable for Yakuza to be represented in Smash in the DLC. Like, just because some fan made this video, they're like, actually, this isn't unreasonable to assume that Yakuza's coming.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Kiryu, that'd be cool.
You get Kiryu and Majima in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that
that'd
would be
sweet.
so awesome.
You get the breakdancer
comes-
style.
Maybe Kiryu with Majima as an assist or something.
Come, they fight like ice climbers. They're like puppets.
Oh,
Puppet-
man. Why you have to ruin it?
Don't you want to play this Majima and Kiryu at the same time?
No.
That'd be awesome.
It'd be terrible.
It'd probably be an alt color if Kiryu. Kiryu's not getting in. Kiryu belongs in Tekken.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm trying to see
Or
what
Virtual
this
Fighter
green-
6, whichever comes first.
Mm-hmm. Give us Virtual Fighter on Steam, please. By the way.
Oh,
Whoever-
fuck yeah. Give me,
that.
yeah. Play that bad boy all day.
I'll even take 3 at this point. Like, I don't care. Give me a port of 3. Like, come on. I don't. Whatever.
Or even like Virtual Fighter 5. That was a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Next news story, we have Backpack Kid and a bunch of others suing Epic Games over dances in Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It begins.
Dance 8.
That floss dance is stupid, by the way.
I mean, yeah, of course.
I'm just saying it's.
That's
I'm
why.
gonna put,
That's why it's a fun dance.
It's not
Most
fun.
popular dances are stupid.
The Macarena was fun. This is not. That doesn't look fun. You're literally doing like a stupid motion. At least the Macarena, you get to move.
The only time I've ever seen someone do the floss was R-Truth and Carmella.
Really?
Yes, that's the only time I've ever seen the floss be done.
God, that sounds cringeworthy.
No, so like, I don't even know who Backpack Kid was before this. But
Me neither.
He's just like a bland white kid to me. Why do they call him Backpack Kid? Is it just because he has a backpack?
He had a backpack on when he did the move, I guess. I don't know.
God, you people suck at nicknames.
It's like Star Wars Kid.
That's what I'm saying. You people suck at nicknames.
His actual name is Russell Horning, so that's not.
Yeah, that deserves a nickname like Backpack Kid.
So him, along with Alfonso Ribeiro, and
I did not know that was his name.
What? Really?
He's just Carlton.
Carlton, yeah.
Carlton from Fresh Prince, and rapper 2 Milli, which I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
They're filing a third-party they're filing a complaint against Epic Games in the last month.
A bunch of washed-up celebrities want to get paid. That's what they should have named it.
Well, 2 Milli is not washed up right now. I don't think.
Don't do Alfonso like that, man.
What is he doing?
He did like game show hosting for a bit. I don't know if he still is or not.
Washed up.
He doesn't want to be a big actor, you know. He did that already.
Yeah.
Did he?
He's already in a really popular sitcom. He can rest on his royalty checks or whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, he doesn't need to.
An established character on a popular sitcom is not the same as being a well-established actor.
I mean, people know him. Like,
I didn't know his name. I know Carlton.
I mean,
that's one celebrity that I knew that you didn't. I could rest easy. Yeah. So, what do you guys think? Do you think they'll get their
Dancegate?
No.
Dancegate
no?
is the thing.
it's gonna end in a court
Dancegate?
payout.
Call it Dancegate now.
I said this in our Discord, but you can't. Dances are not intellectual properties. You can't copyright a dance.
No.
And if you can't copyright it, you can't sue someone because they used it. That doesn't make any sense. There's no intellectual property to own in order to get any license for it. And especially with the Alfonso, with Carlton, he's actually said in interviews that he stole that dance.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I did it. Like, I wanted to do a dance the way like I think that white people would dance. So I looked at some things that were like on, wherever, I don't remember where. And I just kind of added my own little flair to it. And I just stole the dance and added my own flair. Like,
Well, there you
so
go.
that's the same thing Fortnite did. They stole the dance and added a little flair.
Not really. It's just they didn't do anything. It's literally
The
the same.
mocapped it.
Yeah,
There's
literally
also
the
a fun video I've seen of how many other games that dance is in
Oh yeah.
in the last like 20 years or so. And this is the first one that's mattered. Like that's
It's
gonna
made a lot of money.
It's making money. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
moneymaker.
okay.
Like,
Some of the other games, Destiny
Not
2,
nearly as much. Not as nearly as-
Uncharted 4, Uncharted 3.
Forza
Like-
Horizon 4.
Not nearly as not Fortnite money though. Fortnite is like ungod money.
Yeah.
Still
They should
big
just
names.
give everybody V-Bucks. They should just
They
settle
didn't
with
care
V-Bucks.
about the others because they
World
didn't
of
make that money.
Warcraft. It's in World of Warcraft, Ben.
Okay.
Yeah,
Look
but
into
that's I guess, but more people play Fortnite than they do World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft makes more money though.
Yeah, yeah. That's,
But Fortnite is.
I mean, I would imagine.
Fortnite is in the public consciousness more than World of Warcraft is, at least now.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying all of those things have happened, and there's been been nothing about it. And
Right,
now,
but because
one game they're going to lose.
Well,
There's
no,
so
they're
many
gonna settle.
examples.
They're gonna settle out in court. They're gonna get a payment in
They're
something.
probably going to
That's-
settle. Yeah.
Yeah,
They probably will settle because they have the money to do it.
That's usually
But
how.
they're not going to win. Is the point?
No, they're not.
Yeah.
But it always comes out in court. They'll probably have to pay them, like, well, we'll pay you this amount much to use the emotes, and then what they'll do is that they'll change the dances eventually, and they'll create their own dances, so they don't have to pay them anymore.
Right. Just make up their own.
But then it's not iconic. People don't care.
No, but people will just like the dances. They'll probably hire choreographers at that point. Well, fuck it, we'll just use our own thing. But they'll just pay them out. That's all they'll do. Backpack kids.
What about all the kids that use the Fortnite dances because they're in Fortnite? Can Fortnite sue them for using their dances? Like, where does it end?
Where does it end?
Well, if those kids are making money off of it, then yeah, they could.
Everything comes from somewhere.
I'm just saying, like that's what the argument. That's the argument's coming from.
Yeah. Still, it's stupid. They should lose.
But they'll settle like most American courts do, especially when it comes to this much money.
It says here that TMZ asked Horning whether or not he thought he should get anything from having his dance in the game, and Horning replied, "It's not that big of a deal. I'm just glad it's in the game."
Wow.
Which means
So
the
it's just-
lawyer, so his either parents or is like, no, we're getting that money.
Oh, yeah.
Probably his parents, yeah.
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 Which is not wrong. Go get that money. Get that money. Get that fucking money.
That's what
Shut
America's
No, it is
about,
wrong.
man. Lawsuits and money.
Yeah, fuck, dude. If I saw if
It's the
I
American
could
way.
if I could and I saw a fat Mexican in a game and he looked like me and I sued and I got just fucking like a settlement out of it, that's fine. I'll take it. Shit. Okay, cool. I'll pay the lawyer, whatever, and then I get money. That's awesome. They're gonna settle.
Yeah.
The only thing I want to know is where is all the Elaine from Seinfeld dances, the little kicks. I want to know where that is.
Just wait. It'll probably be in the next holiday pack.
Okay,
Probably.
that's all I want to do. Keeping on the Epic Games front, The Walking Dead. It's still
Oh, yeah.
around.
Oh, it's still kicking.
Final
Still not
Season
bitten.
is releasing exclusively on the Epic Game Store.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's kind of a
So-
dick move, actually. But
I mean, you just have to download another thing launcher. That's not that big of a deal.
well, but the fact is that your progress is supposed to carry over.
Oh.
from game to game or from season to season.
They could, but they could do it. They're
So-
smart, and they might. They could do a thing where like I think in correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Dragon Age do a thing where like you could like go to a website and then click your choices that way? They could do the same thing where like you could remember your choices, or I think you
That's
can even pull.
annoying.
I'm just trying to be helpful over here instead of being Mr. Negative in the
No,
corner.
I'm just saying, like, if you have seasons 1 and 2 on Steam, your progress is carried over from seasons 1 to 2
Then just wait
and
for the
3, I
Steam
guess. There's a
release.
third season.
I
And then
would-
now this one, your progress isn't going to carry.
Just wait for the Steam release then. Just do that. Then.
Hopefully
sure
they
they'll-
make it to where you have to like link your Steam account or something.
Yeah, like something
Hopefully,
like that, or,
ideally,
or
that
they
would
can
be-
just have it so that you can log into Telltale's whatever. And it'll
That's
have
true.
the
If it's a
same-
Telltale thing on their server,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah,
Hopefully, I didn't really think about
Hopefully there's
that.
something
Hopefully,
like
there's a
that.
way to carry that stuff over.
yeah.
I just feel like it's going to upset people because they're going to assume the same thing I
Oh, yeah.
assumed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's kind of
It's
why.
going to be
by
bad.
the way-
press.
By the way, I was watching a Let's Play of Walking Dead season 2. That shit's dark, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, too.
Oh yeah, yes it is.
like I
Season
just
2 is really good.
watched the finale. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh
man?
yeah. Finale.
Clementine will remember that forever.
Yeah.
I haven't fun fact, I haven't finished the season 2 of Walking Dead because the cliffhanger of the 4th episode, I was like, I don't want to know how this ends. Like, I'm terrified,
Right.
Yeah, like
so I'm just not going to play it.
I kind of want to play it just to like put myself in the moment after I've like let this Let's Play I've watched sit go away for a while. But I'm like, well, I'll play with the first one first. But I'm like, what the Jesus Christ, man! I can see why
First
people
one's
like it.
tame in comparison.
Yeah,
There's some dark stuff in there, but it's tame. In
no,
comparison.
two's more fucked up. You for
Yeah.
sure.
Yep.
I just think of season 1 at the farm, which was a lot.
Mm,
But-
mm.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. Keeping up with the zombie motif, you got Resident Evil 2 getting a one-shot
Nailing
demo.
I love this idea. It's so cool.
Reminds me of the Resident Evil 7 demos. The kitchen demo or whatever.
So it says here the story description indicates that you can die multiple times. The demo will time out after 30 minutes. Some speculate the one-shot title means that the demo can only be played once, but there's nothing to indicate that accompanying the text.
I wouldn't mind that. Just sates the appetite, and then that.
I mean, if you spend all the time downloading it, then you can only die once, and then you can't play it anymore. That
That
would
would be
kinda suck.
annoying. That
Yeah.
would be annoying.
Yeah,
I
but
wasted my bandwidth for this.
But you can die multiple times. That's what it says.
Right.
Right. I don't know.
But the speculation is if once you finish it, then that's it.
Yeah.
Or if the 30-minute time limit is up, that's when it's over.
Oh, I feel like you should be able to go back in and do the 30 minutes multiple times.
No, that seems weird. I don't know. Anyways, most people, I don't even know why you play demo more than once. Like if
Well, if you want to make it further, like if it's literally like a section of the game and you have 30 minutes to beat that section, then it's like people are going to not beat it and then want to jump back in and try to do it better to actually beat that section in 30 minutes.
When I was a kid, demos is all I had, so I just played
Yeah.
demos over and over and over.
Yep.
Uh,
So you got really good at one stage of one game.
right? Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I loved that game. I never owned it. I only played the demo, but I loved that game.
Right.
Right. And if it was a time demo, you try to get as far as you could
Uh-huh.
before it
Mhm,
times out.
that was me in a weird ass PS1 game called One. If you remember what that was, if you ever
One?
remember. Yeah, it's called
No.
One. It was weird. It was weird.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's like the game case is like a barcode, like a red bar. It's weird. It's like a shooter game, really hard shooter game. But I had the demo disc for it.
That is weird.
Is it called Raw One?
No, it's just I think it's called One.
Raw One, the game? No. Okay.
It's a PS1 game. I could be. All I remember is being called One.
When I search One, all I get is One Piece.
Of course.
I'll look it up. But let's move on to the next thing before I distract people more.
Okay. Okay, last news story of the day is Insomniac and Sam Raimi Spider-Man suit is in the game now.
Oh yeah, I've already
Yay.
found it.
Yay, toxic fans rejoice. You got what you wanted, even though it wasn't because of you.
Yeah. Me and Justin talked about it a little bit on Discord, saying that like it's such a shame that it came out with that's like the toxic fandom and all the really shitty people being shitty about it, because like it would have just been like a really nice Christmas gift. It's like, here you go,
Yeah.
like, Merry Christmas. And
Yeah, thank you for everything that all the people that played it and stuff.
yeah,
Because this has been in the works for a long time. Licensing takes
before the game even came
really
out.
long.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I had some random asshole tweet at me because I said, "Congratulations, you fucking babies! You got what you wanted." And this guy who I already blocked on Twitter, was like, "I bet he doesn't even like the Raimi trilogy." You're right. He likes the Amazing Spider-Man movies. You're wrong.
What's wrong
So
with the Amazing Spider-Man movies?
I mean, they're kind of trash tier. Let's be real here. Anyways,
right? They're like
I'm out.
B tier.
That's it.
we did
97
a
episodes of
commentary for them. You know how I feel about them.
Uh-huh. Doesn't think I've heard any less.
No, like that's the first time I had some random asshole. By the way, Thomas, he had a Chris Benoit avatar. That's how I know this guy's not right in the head.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's how I know he's like, okay, you're messed up if you're praising this psychopath. But yeah, no, fuck you, crybabies. You got what you wanted. You were always gonna get what you wanted because this doesn't just happen overnight.
Yeah.
By the way,
we won.
yeah, you didn't win shit. Yeah, spoiled person who got their Christmas gift a little early. God, I hate this. I wish they would have just put it away. I wish they didn't release it.
Yeah, there was like some shitty like YouTuber Lucas something that was being really shitty about it.
Oh my god, I hate YouTube channels like
Re-
that.
And he's
Over
like,
a
"We won,
suit
guys!
in
I
a
did it!
game.
I did it for us!" It's like, fuck you.
All the it's just kind of crazy how crazy and out of sorts people can get over a cosmetic item in a video game. It's nuts.
Right?
It's like it's like what do you not have anything better going on in your day, life?
Yeah.
It's like these guys gave me a Christmas present, and then some asshole came by and just shat on it, and I was like, "Oh, but it was a nice present."
Yeah, and that costume looks like ass anyway, so
I like
It's
it.
not bad looking. I think it looks fine.
It's the best it's ever looked. In the movies, it looked funky because it was bad CG. But
Yeah.
still thought it
Yeah.
the way it like, kind of shimmers, like on the stitching and stuff, is kind of nice in the game.
I'm just making fun of the babies. You know, that's
Yeah,
all these man children who like a shitty Spider-Man suit.
Yeah, so there you go. Last news story of the day.
What I find kind of interesting about the story, real quick before we go, Greg Miller, I talk about him a lot, but he put out a kind of a thread, like no inside knowledge or anything, just like how he sees this from
Right.
covering the game industry for so long,
Mhm.
and it's a really kind of like poignant, granted way too long, thread about like how it's a shame that all of this came out from people being jerks,
Yeah.
because clearly, like this has been in the works for a long time, and they couldn't tease it or anything because at any time along the way it could have fallen apart.
Right.
Like it's licensing deals, so they were basically creating it while they were getting approval, and if that approval had gone away at any time, they would have had to scrap all their work. So why are they going to tease something? People get super excited and then be like, "Oh, well, why didn't we get it? Like you said it was coming," and then get even more mad. So all they did was say, "We hear you and we understand that's what you want," as they're working on it, and then everyone just got entitled about that. So it's stupid. Like, it's just understand things take longer than your opinions of them do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's basically, he says that in 14 tweets. I just kind of summarized it. But.
Justin,
Yes.
where can the people find you?
They can find me if they go to Twitter or YouTube and look up Zero Score. I have finished Final Fantasy IX story play. It's
Yay.
over
Da, da, da,
forever.
da, 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 da.
Yeah.
I feel like you're Frodo at the end, like when they're on the volcano and the volcano's exploding. It's done. It's over.
I was thinking more Thanos at the end of Infinity War.
Oh, that
But
would
if you give up everything, 'cause I was so
you
burnt
finish
out
it,
by
Justin?
the end.
Did you finish it? Did you do it?
What did it cost you?
Yes.
Oh, damn it.
But yeah, it's over. Go check it out. I have the entire playlist of every episode together.
Yes.
YouTube like auto generate, like it started just putting them into the playlist automatically. It's super
Sick.
nice.
Hey, you two
Yeah.
doing a good thing? What's the
Right.
what? That's
And I checked. I was like,
Good
oh
for
crap!
them.
I haven't put these in here in a long time, and they were just all there.
yeah, because
So I
I hate
shared
when
it.
YouTubers don't do that shit.
That's neat.
But yeah, I've been busy editing the Spider-Man story play that'll be starting in 2019. It's a lot less work because I don't have voice actors for it. But I want to have like a good amount of episodes ready so that when I'm moving, I can just still put them out. Like I can schedule like weeks ahead and not have to worry about it. So that's kind of been my next project. But yes, Final Fantasy IX is done. Anyone that's been waiting, please go check that out on my YouTube channel. And that's me.
And Lo.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Nero the Hero, N3R0, THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Nero the Hero, all with letters. And you can find me here on Chart Shot.
And Bet.
Twitter.com/MarvelousIggy, where you can find things concerning the Marvelous One. I'm being serious this time because as we are drawing the near of 2018, and I can say that my favorite saying of the year, I'll do it next year. I love saying that. 2019, I want to make it the year of the Marvelous One, aka the year I put out more video content, and I've already done a whole bunch of writing stuff on the GreenLanternCorps.com. Let's see how it goes. But the idea is to put out at least 3 YouTube videos a week of one Let's Play series. Again, if you like those, I do those. Starting with Shovel Knight in late January 2018. I'm shooting for mid because, again, I already have the game done, just sitting down and recording the over audio stuff. But then the also plan is to do Twitch streams, which if you can find, you can go to twitch.tv/Iggy2814. Where I plan to stream at least 3 to 4 times a week. Not super long streams, just because I'm going to try to do them when I get off work, and I'm usually super tired. So then maybe an hour, hour and a half. So they're not going to be super long unless I'm off from work or have work off the next day. But that is the plan. Now that I have a shit ton of games to play, and of course the SNES Mini to play off of, I got a lot of content to show off. Or a lot of games I can play. So that's the plan. I don't know how I'm going to stick to it once March hits, but that is the plan coming next year. Look for Shovel Knight, and look for some fun Twitch streams featuring the self-proclaimed Marvelous One.
And you can find me, your host, Thomas, on Twitter, CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also email me, thomas@charshot.com. We're going to have some stuff going up, Rocky 4 watch along. I still need to put up the review. The video version's already up. It's on YouTube. I just need to put up the audio. Going to be editing all of that tomorrow, and then I'll probably do a live stream after that, which I've been...
And we'll have some Game of the Year lists going up
in
the near future.
We still need to work on a date for that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it this weekend.
I have a general idea of what matter to be, though. So it won't take long.
I have no idea. So until then, guys, enjoy your games. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Last time I accidentally clicked on the hang up.
Yeah, you did.